Hello, I wanted to make another video here, episode 2, how I passed the PMP exam in 5 weeks. I wanted to share the resources I used, how to analyze questions, tips to study, red flags to keep in mind when taking the exam. I wanted to share the resources I used to pass the PMP exam. The resources go in order from the ones I use the most to the least. So starting with the first one, it's the TIA exam simulator. It's given by a person named Andrew Madal. Highly well known in the PMP exam prep space. Great guy, great website, great content. He really helps you get ready to take the examination. His course or his question bank was very helpful. You get to choose the knowledge area that you want to study in and the process groups of which one do you want to study in. So you get to choose kind of, if you're weak in this area, then you do those questions. It's very good to have questions. It's a place where you want to kind of spend all your time in, is to do questions. This helped me out a lot. Great website, great source, worth the money. It will help you pass. The second resource is going to be the PM Aspirant Map Game. This is also a great resource. It's free. I do have all of these linked down below. The map game is very helpful to learn the processes of when things happen, what activities or tasks happen in what groups, and what areas of knowledge do they go with. So you want to make sure that you try this game, you want to play the game, you want to do it a lot of times, do it at least a couple times a day, and you should have it down in about a week of time. It will help you kind of understand what happens when and why, and it helps you see an overview of the whole project itself. So the third resource I use, it's on YouTube. It's 200 Agile Questions. It's given by a person by the name of David Hinkelacklin, and he goes over the Agile questions in depth. He goes over all the answers, the mindset, how you should approach a question, and he really gives you good tips and advice on how to think like an Agile PM. Great resource. You want to copy and paste the questions that you have a hard time with. You want to put them into your own Word document. That's what I did, and that helped me out a lot, because at the end of all my studying, I had a Word document with all the Agile questions that helped me learn Agile, and all of the non-Agile, the hybrid, the project waterfall questions. Those are also great to have in your Word, a document as well. So you want to watch the Agile Mindset video 1.5 speed to 2 times speed. It's a long video, about 6 hours. I have that linked down below as well. Make sure to learn Agile. Very important to learn. He's a great teacher. And what helped me out a lot was, you want to try to answer the question on your own, right? So pause the video, try to solve it on your own, and then see if you're right or wrong, and then why. That will help you out a lot. Use these questions to help yourself learn Agile. The fourth resource I used was the Agile Guide. Agile Guide is a great book. Anything you don't understand about Agile or hybrid, you want to use the book. It goes into detail, the ins and outs of Agile, how hybrid works, how Agile works, how are they separated, how are they the same. Very good resource. I wouldn't recommend you read the whole thing, because you really don't have to, but you really want to skim the book, and you want to go over things that you are having a hard time with. The fifth resource I used was the PMBOK guide. The PMBOK guide is not an easy read. Don't read the whole thing from front to back. It's dry, it's wordy, it's a hard read. So use it only as a guide. And that's what a lot of people said as well, was you only want to use the PMBOK book as a guide. Don't read the whole thing. Any topics or knowledge areas you don't understand, or a process of the project that you don't understand, that's when you want to use the PMBOK. The PMBOK, I think that you could get by without it. You don't have to buy it if you don't want to. It's also linked down below, but only use it as a guide. Now the sixth resource and the last resource, number 7, it's also on YouTube. It's a guy by the name of Ricardo Vargas. Great resource. Very well known as well in the exam prep space. You want to make sure to watch his videos as well on a 1.5 speed or 2 speed. Long videos, he goes through the whole project process, start to finish. Very detailed. I used him less. I used the resources less because it was too detailed for me. It didn't give me the things I was trying to get from it. So I had to decrease on those videos, and I'm more so focused on doing the TIA exam questions and the Agile 200 questions on YouTube. Those are question banks. You want to drill those. You want to learn and practice questions. The test itself will be a bank of questions. So you want to get used to having to solve these problems easily, right? You want to identify them easily, quickly, and fast. Timing is key. I wanted to review the question analysis I did. How do I approach these questions? Whether it's exam prep content or the exam itself. You want to first read the last line of the question. Don't read the passage. It's going to help with timing. Trust me. Read the last line, understand what are they really asking you, and then try to solve the problem, right? Now you go evaluate your answers. So 1, you want to read the last line, and this goes right into 2, you want to go look at your answers. The problems can be very wordy, lengthy, whole story in there about what the PM is put into in this situation or in that situation. They're dealing with the sponsor, or they're dealing with the stakeholder. You don't really need all of that. You really have to make sure you know the mindset. Because when you read the last line and you understand what's being asked, then you go to number 2 to check out your answers. You're going to be able to already eliminate a couple answers. Based on what's being asked, you should be able to get 2 answers out of the running. So you want to use your keywords. You want to eliminate what you can eliminate. And then number 3 here, you want to try to solve it right there, right? Use the mindset. It's going to apply in all ways, every time, every question, whether it's agile mindset, hybrid mindset, or the project waterfall mindset. And the project waterfall mindset, the normal, regular mindset, is not agile. It's not hybrid either. It's a project waterfall, step 1 to step 2 to step 3 to step 4. So you always want to know, what hat am I wearing on this question? Is this an agile question? Most questions will be agile. That's why you want to learn agile. A lot of it's done through agile. Even on actual projects I've worked on, agile is the way it goes. Number 4 is to read the passage. If you've read the last line, you looked at your answers and you're trying to solve it, or you got a couple answers out and you know that there's only 2 left that sound right, now you want to read the passage. Now you want to get a full scope of the question. What's it really asking? It should help you answer it. And the reason why you want to be quick and you want to read the last line, you want to go straight to answers, it's because there's not enough time. You have to answer 180 questions in a fast time frame. If you don't know a question, move on. It's okay to skip the first 10 questions and say, you know what, I don't know these. I'm going to keep going, right? I know some test takers that will go through the whole test first. They don't answer anything. They'll flag the questions that they do know. Then you go to all the flags and you answer them quickly, right? Or you'll go through every question. Whatever you can answer right there off the bat, you answer it. And then you move on. That's another approach. So timing is key. Make sure that you read the passage only if you have to. And this helped me out a lot with how to analyze questions. It made it easier for me. It made it streamlined to take the test. It made it streamlined on the exam prep content as well. Here's the approach I took, my steps to study strategy step by step. So the first one is you want to read or skim the Agile guide. You want to understand Agile. I've already said this earlier. Agile is very important. You want to know Agile. The second step is do your TIA exam questions. Very important. Drill the question bank, guys. Don't lack on it. Don't think, oh, I don't have to do 1,000 questions. You do. You want to do 1,000 questions. It's going to help that 180 questions on the test, it'll feel good and easy. It won't feel hard because you've done so many and you've seen so many questions that you know essentially it's asked about this process group and this knowledge area, and this mindset has to be applied. So you'll understand that. The third thing is the Agile 200 questions. You want to watch this. This goes hand in hand with the TIA because they're both question banks. You get non-agile questions with the TIA, and then you get all agile with the YouTube. You want to copy and paste any questions that you have a hard time with or topics that you aren't sure of, but use both of them. Very good to do. And then with the Agile guide, it just goes hand in hand with the 200 Agile on YouTube, right? They all go hand in hand. And then the last thing here is the map game. You want to make sure to play the map game. It will help you learn. It will tie in the process groups and the knowledge areas. It's going to tie it all in for you of like, well, I know exactly when this happens in the project or when that happens in the project. That's easy now. And then I also used the PMBOK and I watched some other YouTube videos. Those I kept on the back burner. I didn't use it too much. You don't really need it. With the 4 that I gave you already, the Agile Guide, the TIA exam questions, 200 Agile questions on YouTube, and the map game, that's all you need. Those 4 resources will help you pass the PMP exam. No need to go down a rabbit hole on the internet to find all the resources in the world. No need to go to other schools or other exam preps. These will help, and that's all you really need. So I hope this makes it simpler. I hope this makes it easier for you. I've been through the hard part of doing the research, doing the homework on, well, what content do I even want to use? What's everyone saying to use? And things like that. This should make it streamlined for you. It made it streamlined for me. I wanted to share exam tips on test day. Tips to help you pass the first time and some red flags. So the first one here is the mindset always applies. Every question, mindset. The whole thing is based off of the mindset. So just have that in mind, that that's how you want to approach every question, right? And it's all about what the book says. The book, the Agile Guide, and the PMBOK is what you want to use to answer your questions. Now, the second one is never run to the sponsor. The project sponsor pays for the project. It's their scope of work. They're your client. So the project manager only goes to the sponsor for more money, scope changes, and to get something approved in the project. Whether that's a new scope of work, whether that's changes to scope of work, whether that's I'm going to submit the final product to the sponsor. That's when the sponsor comes in. Most times, exam prep content and the exam, you'll see where the scope changes a lot. So on most answers, when you see the PM should go tell the sponsor, that answer is wrong a lot of times. There's only a few cases when the PM goes to sponsor. Make sure you keep this in the back of your mind because the PM should be solving problems on their own. They should be helping the team out on their own, right? So this goes into my third point. My third tip is the PM cannot fire anyone. You cannot let go of team members. Even if someone's a weak link, even if someone isn't doing well on the project, the PM cannot give the work to someone else either. So have these things in mind. You can't fire someone and you can't give their work to someone else. The PM is a coach. The PM has to train that team member to get up to speed, to improve your skill set. Or the PM can get another team member to help this person learn the process, learn the things that we're doing on the project. You can't fire someone. It's that simple. That's a part of the mindset that we all learned. And it's a great thing to have in mind because you will see these answers and the PM cannot do this. And then the fourth thing here, guys, is that there is no math. There's no math on the test. Barely. The only math I had on my exam prep content and the exam itself was you want to know your schedule performance index. You want to know your schedule variance. You want to know your cost performance index. And you want to know your cost variance. Schedule, ahead or behind. Cost, above or under. Here's a screenshot how the equations work, what they mean. Use this to help you answer the questions. This is really simple math, and it's the best ones to have on the test because you'll easily earn those points and you'll get those questions right. Don't miss these questions. These are easy questions. The only other math you're going to have is how long it takes to get something done, a project task. How long does it take to get the activity done is what you'll see commonly. The project sponsor will ask the project manager how long it will take to get a activity done. This is where the PM has to know how to answer that question, right? So you want to know your pessimistic, most likely, and your optimistic timeframes. Very important to know, not only for PMP, but also as a PM in the field. That's all the math I had, guys. You want to make sure that you keep these 4 things in mind. They help me out a lot because I already knew to skip them or to not even have to learn them. And that's going to help a lot because you're already learning a lot of content. You're already doing so many things to learn all this content, understand it, evaluate it, digest it. So these things really help me get streamlined on the test prep, and on the test itself. So I hope this helps. I hope it makes it easier for you.